We're trying this. So today, while I was driving back from a delivery at work, I had a panic attack, and it scared the shit out of me. I mean, like, not initially, like, you know, one of those things where it's like, my brain tells me one thing, and, like, then kind of cascades into something bigger, where it's like, I get anxious about something real and concrete, and then that, you know, kind of like balloons into this like physical emotional response that is like not right. It's like too big, too much. And I started thinking, like, after I kind of recognized like what was happening, like after my body was going numb, like after my heart was racing, I couldn't stop moving, and I couldn't, you know, stop taking like the shallow, like kind of breaths, you know, feel like I'd been running and shit. And after I noticed that, like, literally every muscle in my body was tensed up after being numb, I started kind of thinking about, like, the nature of having a panic attack like that at work, and, like, it being this, like, kind of thing that, you know, like, had I had, you know, diarrhea, or had I vomited, had, you know, I've gotten hurt, you know, those would be the sorts of things where I could, like, run to someone, like my boss or one of my coworkers, and be like, hey, this is what's going on, this is what happened, I gotta get this fixed real quick. And, you know, that would be that. Like, it wouldn't be a thing. Like, it would just be like, oh yeah, you know, you gotta respond to stuff like that, you gotta take care of yourself, you know. But it's like, then when it comes to, like, panic attacks, there's not like a good cultural system in place, and certainly not like a good system in place at most jobs to handle stuff like that. I don't even know, you know, if I were to tell anyone at my work what was happening, you know, something that doesn't have any sort of like outward physical signs, something that doesn't have any kind of like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I can't prove to you that this is happening, just that when I say it's happening, you have to like trust me that it's happening. Oh my god, y'all, you're gonna get us killed. Just fucking keep going, 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 keep going. So that was going on, and I started thinking, you know, about that, and I started thinking about the sort of just nature of panic attacks themselves, like what it's like, and, you know, like that kind of thing where you, like, when you first learn what they are, and like how they feel, and like how they can manifest themselves, and you kind of have that like dawning thing of like, oh man, I've probably been like experiencing this for years and just never knew what it was, or like that was even a thing. Like, you almost like just say like, well, this is just a thing that happens sometimes, until someone or something you read, you know, describes very specifically those symptoms, and you're like, oh no, when this is happening to you, you're probably having a panic attack. That's not just a thing that people feel sometimes when they're totally fine. And too, I got to thinking about, you know, the kind of like situational aspect of it, you know, like, I can't do anything about it. I can't really, like, just go home. I mean, I guess I could, but, like, I've got to work. I can't, like, not be at work. You know, or I think about, like, well, maybe I should get a job that's less stressful. And it's like, well, what, you know, I work at a catering place that's, you know, I'm a delivery driver. It's like, how much lower stress can you get? It's like, how much like further down the like chain of like responsibility could I get, you know? Like, wouldn't it be better if I could like do any kind of job I wanted and have these sorts of things come up and it not be, you know, the end of the world where I could like turn to my boss, coworker, and say, hey, this is happening. I probably need to just take a little while to like chill the fuck out. You know, let me just sit down for a while. And I don't know, maybe other people can do that with their bosses and stuff. Maybe I'm just too timid. But I feel like in the middle of a panic attack, like having to go to someone and explain to them like, yo, I'm having a panic attack right now. I can't explain this to you. My body and my mind are like literally reeling. I don't have any way of doing anything to control or stop this until it just goes away. I don't have any way of doing anything to control or stop this until it just goes away. I feel like trying to explain that to someone in the middle of having a panic attack is such an anxiety-inducing addition to the situation. I don't know. It just sucked.